Welcome to the Restricted Handling Podcast. Let's dig in. Here's what's been going on in Russia in the last 24 hours. Let's start with Ukraine. It's been another busy day on that front, and we're picking up where we left off yesterday, just with a bit of an update. The Ukrainian drone game is still strong, and they're not backing down. Yesterday, we talked about how they've been targeting Russian artillery and logistics. Well, today, it's the same story, but now we're getting more details. Ukrainian drones have taken out a whopping 6 Russian Grad rocket systems in the Pokrovsk area. That's a serious blow. And it's not just about taking down artillery, it's about taking out the nerve centers that support Russia's entire operation. Ukraine is hitting the Russian communications systems too, and I can't help but picture Russian commanders trying to coordinate everything, only to find their radios going silent. It's chaos on their side, and a lot of it is coming from Ukrainian drones. Now let's talk about the air defense systems, because Ukraine's not letting up on that either. Since March, they've been stepping up their long-range strikes, quadrupling the number of mid-range hits behind Russian lines. These aren't just symbolic strikes. They're hitting radar stations, missile launchers, and other critical pieces of Russian infrastructure. These Ukrainian forces are becoming experts in knocking down Russia's air defenses, and it's forcing Russia to rethink their strategy. Every time Ukraine takes out a radar or air defense system, it makes it harder for Russia to move their troops or launch counterattacks. It's like pulling the rug out from under them, one step at a time. Let's shift gears and talk about some of the bigger geopolitical moves. The EU is once again in a bit of a standoff with Hungary. Yesterday, we mentioned Hungary blocking a huge €90 billion loan to Ukraine. And today, well, not much has changed, but we do have some updates. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen isn't backing down, though. She's doubling down on her statement that the EU will find a way to get that money to Ukraine. It's starting to feel like a bit of a game of political chess, and Hungary, with its pro-Russian ties, is making it difficult for the rest of the EU to play nice with Ukraine. But hey, with EU leaders calling Orban's behavior disloyal, it looks like this is far from over. It's a tense situation, and it's clear that Hungary's resistance to supporting Ukraine isn't just a diplomatic hiccup. It's a power move that's causing cracks in EU unity. On the home front in Russia, things aren't much better. The Kremlin is cracking down hard on internet freedoms. I mean, imagine a country where you can't even send a text message without someone in the government getting a little too nosy. Russia's blocking major platforms like Telegram and WhatsApp, and on top of that, they're shutting down mobile internet in key regions. Now, this isn't just some arbitrary internet ban. The Russians are doing this under the pretense of security. But let's be real. This is a way to tighten the government's grip on the people. It's like that one time in 2020 when social media apps started disappearing in places like China and Iran. Same vibes here, and it's only going to get worse. Oh, and did I mention Russia's trying to ramp up military security for their high-ranking officials? Yeah, they've had a couple of embarrassing moments recently with some top brass getting targeted, and now they're making it a point to protect their generals a little more closely. The Russian FSB, which we all know is basically their version of the CIA, is stepping up their game. They're not taking any chances after the attempted assassination of General Vladimir Alexeyev, the deputy head of the GRU. You know, the usual, let's get more security because people are mad at us kind of move. But hey, no one's buying the whole, we're just worried about the safety of our people line, right? The message is pretty clear. Russia's internal politics are as shaky as ever, and when things get bad, they go for the cover your back mentality. Meanwhile, let's look at Russia's energy game. Ukraine's been targeting their gas pipelines and energy infrastructure in a big way, and it's definitely getting under the Kremlin's skin. The Turk Stream and Blue Stream pipelines, which carry Russian gas across the Black Sea to Europe, have been hit multiple times in the past month. But much like a bad sequel, Russia's response is the same. We'll fix it, no worries. Sure, they'll patch things up temporarily, but the longer this goes on, the more vulnerable their energy infrastructure becomes. You'd think they would have learned by now that messing with Ukraine's energy sector isn't a good look, but here we are. Oh, and let's not forget, Russia's trying to bypass U.S. sanctions by shipping oil to Cuba. They've got tankers on the way carrying crude and diesel, defying the U.S. embargo. It's like Russia and Cuba are in this "we'll show you America" little dance. They think they're sticking it to Uncle Sam, but all they're really doing is getting more tangled in geopolitical knots. Russia's got enough problems without having to add the US-Cuba drama to the mix, but here we are. Lastly, let's wrap it up with some military tension in the Baltics. On March 18th, Russia's Su-30 fighter jet made an uninvited appearance in Estonia's airspace. For a whole minute. But don't worry, NATO had their back. The Italian Air Force scrambled into action, and Estonia was quick to call it out. Russia keeps poking the bear, but NATO's always ready to respond, which is why the Estonians are saying, "Nice try, but no cigar." Thanks for listening and helping grow our community. Please take a moment to leave a 5-star review. We also publish a daily written intel brief on Substack, where you'll find even deeper coverage of Russia and China, along with insights on Iran, the Middle East, and the DPRK.